you know, he brings up a lot of good points because, you know, a lot of times we go to church like back home and, you know, places that we're most comfortable at, and you know, we get so like pumped up and like fired up for God, and then like when we're away from like, you know, our church family or our parents and or other people, you know, who are usually around us encouraging us, you know, it kind of like, you know, deflates, and it's like, oh, well, do I really believe this, or I don't know if I really want to do that anymore. Yeah. So, I mean, that can be the hard part of, you know, being here and trying to do, you know, what you know is right with your faith and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's good because that's how we grow. You know, you're only gonna grow through that experience of being like, I don't really know what church I want to go to. I know I need to go to church, but I'm not going, or I'm not going to church because I'm not really comfortable at the churches I've been to or something like that. I mean, that's all part of the process that, you know, makes us stronger if we just, you know, stay at it. So.
Yeah. For sure, and I'm glad you brought up that because, you know, how do you feel about the church as holistically? How do you feel about the church when you enter into the doors? You know, the whole persona of church, you know. Nowadays, yeah.
Nowadays, I mean, I think it's I feel like church is important, but I feel like I'm more interested in like your personal relationship with God, and while you go to church for more, you know, fulfillment and everything like that, I'm not sure if going to church every single Sunday I mean, you could do that, but if you don't have that personal relationship, it's not going to mean anything if you go to church every single week and you're just there, you're, you know, singing and everything like that. So that's what my idea has been recently, but I think church is important though.
Okay.
When I'm back at home, I go to church every single Sunday, and I learn something, so I like it.
Okay.
Church for me, that's important too. It's like I go Sundays and Wednesdays, Sunday for regular service, Wednesdays for Bible study, and like over the years, it's got a lot more important to me. Like at first, I would just go because my mom was like making me go, like get up, go to church. Then after a while, I started trying to be on fire for God, and like really trying to know Him, and like kind of opposite of what He said, but that I didn't know Him personally. So I needed a leader to try to help me get to the place of getting to know Him personally.
Right.
So like that's my pastor, my youth ministers and stuff they helped me out with. Then I like started really getting serious. Like I would be like with the youth service, and like I started like not liking the youth service because they were like, I don't know, just childish kind of. Not the minister, but the kids, and they were like always like laughing about little stuff. So I just started going to the adult service, but nobody actually noticed it because I had just turned 18 anyway.
Okay.
So they was like, "Oh yeah, you should be there." But but it wasn't because of that. I was like really stepping out on my own. I was really trying to grow. But
I'd say for me, the church, I mean, it's always been a part of my life. Like I grew up in the church. My grandma my mom was taking me to church and all that, so I know all the little churchy phrases. I know like I know everything. You know about there is like it's so ingrained in me. Like, you know, I don't know how my life would be without going to church like I have been all my life. But at the same time, like the church is important to me. It's very important to me. But at the same time, I feel like it's really becoming like, I don't know. It's becoming more like something like it's becoming too conformist, I guess.
Okay.
Is the word I should be looking for. Is because it's just, I don't know, I feel like a lot of services are just trying to get people to come, just to have a number, just to have just a packed church out, instead of just actually just the people there, you know, like just worrying about them and stuff. And so I don't know, but that doesn't prevent me from going to church or anything when I'm home or nothing like that. But yeah, it's just I feel.
Okay.
I want to go back to what Tolu said. he's saying that, he believes that it's really about like that personal and looking at, that person's relationship with God. And, to piggyback off what he's saying, yeah, I also feel like a lot of churches, they want to like get as many people as they can, because I don't know whether it's like a popularity thing with them, or like it makes them feel good, or they want to save as many souls as possible. But sometimes I think like churches need to look more at the individual and look more, to see like, what their personal relationship is with God. And quite frankly, I like small churches. I really, I like small churches. But, churches, biblically the church is very important. In my life is very important, but at the same time, a lot of times, sometimes I have battles in my mind of like sometimes you go to a church and it's hard for you to kind of figure out like what's going on and like try to fit yourself in there. But sometimes I think we just have to. For me personally, a lot of times I'm really critical of like when I go to certain churches, and I'm like, man, that ain't how like we do it like back in my church. But then when you step outside and you look at it, you say, they believe in the same things that I believe in. Yeah, the songs are a little different. Actually, I just came from a church service tonight, and we were singing some praise and worship songs, and we were singing this one song in particular, and the words were the same like hymns as I'm used to singing, but it was completely different. The music was different, and like they were singing it differently. And I was like, man, this is weird, but it's cool because it shows that God's people are very different, and for me, I have to come to accept that. So a lot of times when I'm critical, I should just be more thankful to see that this is a different style of worshiping God, and these are different people who are worshiping God than maybe what I'm used to. So,
can I comment on like something he was just brought up?
Just
about how like he was talking about how there's different ways to do church. I think that's a very like important point, because I think we get caught up in just our denomination or how we do things. Or we sing it like this, y'all need to sing it like that. The Bible don't say anything about how you should sing a song, or it's just all about the heart. And I feel like we lose touch of that. I think it's different ways, style of praise. And it's been some church services I'm like, that ain't how I do it. And but I mean that's just fleshly. That's just human nature. But I feel like I don't feel like there's a set way to do church or anything.
I feel you. Real briefly. Is church enough to keep young people grounded in God?
No.
No.
Because it's, church is the body of believers. It's a group of people, who basically, I guess the idea is that you want to, you encourage everyone, all these other people believe what you believe, but if you don't really believe if you don't have a strong like grounding in that, then it's really no good. Like I'm sure we all know people who they just go to church, or maybe we all have been there ourselves. Like I know when I was younger, I would just go to church, and you just go, your family taking you,
right?
You got no choice. So so no, that's not the only thing.
And also too, like the church is like, it's not enough for one, just what he was saying, just how it's just, you need a relationship for yourself. But also I feel like it's, for young people, I feel like we need to be around more younger people who are saved. That's always been, for me personally, that's always been something that's inspired me. It's always been like, oh, he's doing it, I think I could do it too. Because I don't know if this is true or not, and I think it might not be true as I'm getting older, but I always felt it was easier to be saved when you were older, like that grandma who went to church or something, or that deacon at 45 years, I felt it was easier then, than to be like a Christian on this campus or something like that. So,
Okay, we're gonna hold it right there. We're gonna go to part 3. Still tune in. We're gonna get some more takes around the room. Chats for Trey.